interview me, or do you want me to just talk?
We'll start with your name, then just talk. Because one week is probably like not as structured
Okay.
as.
Do you have posture you want me to have or anything?
Just relax.
Okay.
Just be you.
So you're just gonna ask me questions?
Okay. What is Pivot 25?
Yeah, so Pivot 25 is the premier mobile apps and development conference for East Africa. This is the first year we've done it, but it'll be an annual event. We're really excited about the momentum that we've got so far, the great apps that we've seen, and even more excited about the potential that we see for the future. It's basically built to be a platform for mobile developers and innovators in the East African tech space to be able to showcase their apps, launch their apps, basically just create as strong and as broad and as high of a platform as possible to allow them to achieve whatever success they're trying to get to, whether that be an investment, whether that just be exposure, whether it be finding partnerships, whether it be finding mentors, whatever that may be for them. We want to give them the best possible platform to make that happen.
Okay, like saying since it's your first time, I'm sure there's some challenges you've come across.
Yeah.
Can you highlight some of those?
Yeah, so the biggest challenges we saw were in the kind of in the business development side of things. So seeing people that had these great ideas, an incredible application, some incredible, different widgets or whatever that they've built, even like SMS engines, but have no idea really how to monetize it, or they don't understand, like how they're going to do a marketing plan, or how they're going to scale, or what they should be looking for as far as investments, or the best way to pitch to investors, or to media, or all these things. And so the hardest thing for me, which is what I actually focused on, was working with working with the 25 finalists and helping them develop their pitch. So I think in the last 10 days, I listened to 190 pitches. And just over and over and over and over again until they got it down. And I just taught them from square one. Some of them were great, and some of them were horrible. And we just brought them from square one, just right down the line, teaching them how to pitch, what should your slides look like, everything from actual graphic design of the slides to how do you address certain questions that are maybe tough to address. I think that was the hardest thing probably. And then also just since it is the premier kind of first of its kind event, just getting the word out, getting people, because a lot of people they aren't expecting anything like this to exist in Africa. Or especially in East Africa, and so just kind of trying to explain what it is, what we're trying to do, why they should be excited about it, all these things that anything that's you're doing anything for the first time, you're going to experience the same thing. So a lot of those problems.
How did you reach out? Because I see some of the guys as far as Rwanda, how did you reach out to all these guys? Do you have partnerships out in those countries, or what mechanisms do you use to?
Sure. So the Pivot 25 is an MLab initiative, which was kind of born out of the iHub and the MLab consortium. And so very early on in the process of thinking through, okay, what if we did this, this conference, this competition for investors, what would that look like? We decided we wouldn't just open this up to iHub members. It wouldn't just be people from Nairobi. It wouldn't just be people from Kenya, but we wanted it to be open up to anyone from East Africa. So anyone from East Africa that had some sort of mobile development, innovation, app, SMS engine, anything, could apply. And so we received 105, 110 applications, and we just sorted through them. We picked the 25 finalists. We received a lot of applications from out of Kenya, and we picked 4. So we have 4 people from outside of Kenya, which we're really, really excited about. Nairobi is obviously the tech hub of East Africa, and so a lot of the innovations were coming out of there, but we're really excited about stuff that we've seen from Rwanda, Tanzania, both very strong competitors from there. So it's been really exciting, and we hope over in the future as the word gets out more, because a lot of our networks are in Nairobi, so we could spread the word quicker there. As the word gets out to the rest of East Africa, we'll see almost a 50-50 split between outside of Kenya and within Kenya.
So now, this is just the first year, but I'm sure, like you said, you wanted to make it an annual event. What will you do to be able to ensure new, fresh ideas, new stuff coming in? Because I'm afraid some of it might end up coming back. Some people might end up just because no idea is original.
Right.
Guys might end up recreating what's happened here.
Sure.
What criteria would you use for now bringing out new guys or?
Sure. Well, it's all about innovation. So if you're doing something that's already been done, it's not really innovation. So that's kind of the biggest criteria is we want to give mobile innovators a platform to succeed. And so that's kind of at the heart of the whole screening process. There's a super elaborate grading scheme and all these different things. But I think that really, out of the 110, there was probably at least 60 that we could have chosen that would have been probably done a great job up here. But because it's Pivot 25, we obviously need 25 companies. In the future, that number might grow, it might shrink. I have no idea what exactly it will be. I know we have a whole lot of domain names registered, Pivot and then a number, so let's put it that way. But we're really excited about even some of the ones from this year, inviting them back for next year, or maybe improving on their ideas, people that didn't get accepted as finalists. And I think that since it was a first event, first of its kind, we tried really hard to get the word out, but I think that we probably just hit the tip of the iceberg in terms of exposure. And especially as we kind of get a lot of exposure from this event after the fact, I think that if we roll that into next year in an effective way, I think we'll see at least twice as many applications, if not more. And I think that the selection that we'll have to choose from would be quite broad.
Okay, in closing, what would you like to see at the end of this, by the end of tomorrow? What would you like to see to be able to know that you have successfully achieved?
Yeah, so in a broad sense, I want to see, I've spoken at length with each of the 25 finalists. What do you want to get out of this event? What do you need as a company, as a startup? What are your needs right now to succeed? Whether that be money, whether that just be exposure, partnerships, and so in a broad sense, I want to see each of those goals met for them. So whatever that means for the individual companies, and we've worked really hard for hearing all their needs and trying to put every system in place to meet those. But in a specific sense, I'd like to see 12 months down the line, at least maybe two or three of these companies being really successful, getting their full funding from investors or venture capitalists, being successful in whatever market they're trying to jump into. And I think we're going to see that. I think we've got a really strong field, and some of them aren't really positioned to do some sort of international launch. They're very specific to East Africa or solving a very specific problem, which is great. And I think we're also excited about the successes there. But I think we'll see a couple kind of big success and some big names coming out of this event in the next 12 to 24 months.
Cheers.
Cool. Thank you.